It's now time for our session to start with Diplomatic Conclave. We would like to honor our panel speakers by giving them each a certificate of participation. And I would like to invite to the stage Mr. Sajith Kumar, CEO and MD of Ibmc, to distribute these certificates. Please, could we have a representative from Rimas One Jewelry approach the stage to collect your certificate of merit? Congratulations. And also Al-Fayah Jewelry for their certificate of merit. Yeah. As well as Dwarakan Jewelry, please. If you could approach the stage for your certificate of merit. And Rimas One Jewelry. Al-Fayah Jewelry. And Dwaraka Jewelers.
Would like to give a golden flower to His Excellency.
Sorry, say his name one more time. Say the name one more time.
Mr. Juma, Muhammad Juma from Himros Mine.
Would like to give a... And Mr. Muhammad Joma from Himros Mining would like to give a white flower to His Excellency. Lovely gesture, thank you. It's a golden flower, a gift for His Excellency. Thank you very much. And one to Mr. Sajith as well. A golden flower also for Mr. Sajith. Lovely, thank you very much.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, Your Excellencies. First of all, let me congratulate Ibmc to take this bold decision to hold this third edition of this World Gold Conference. Last year also they had the boldness to take this to the next level in spite of the pandemic which we were facing last year. In fact, that was at the height of this pandemic they had that bold decision to hold it. It was very successful, and because even you have seen that elsewhere in the world such conferences were held at a limited stage, but we had a full-fledged conference last year, even though it was hybrid. This year again, as you can see that the number of guests here we have in full-fledged, we have this conference now, and they have decided to give focus on the African market mainly. We know that the African market is the largest sourcing market for gold business in the UAE, and it is through a kind of synergy, it is taking to the next level. Now the diplomatic conclave, which we decided to include, apart from the African countries, Peru also in this one, because Peru is, even though it is a Latin American country, but no, we decided because of the size of business they are having with the Uae market. Now let me introduce our panel members. First of all, we have I think all of them are there. Your Excellency, Henry Mayenga. I don't know whether he is already there. From Uganda. Is there? Is already there? Huh? He's on his way. And the Ambassador, the Republic of Mali, Your Excellency, Adama Sangare. Welcome, sir. And the Consul General of Angola, His Excellency Benzo Zelazar. I think he's also on his way. His Excellency Marco Antonio, the Consul General of Peru. Welcome, sir. So now I hope others are on their way here. Yes, now that the pandemic is behind us now, we can say that UAE has seen the fastest recovery from the pandemic, and we are on the next stage of economic growth. And the growth is evident from all sectors, including yesterday we have seen how the air show, Dubai Air Show was conducted, and they had the record number of deals were there. Then now Expo 2020 is on now. We had the grandest opening on the 1st of October, and that will be running through another 6 months. It was, even though the world expected that we may not be able to conduct it, but this year the UAE leadership has shown the boldness to hold it, and it is to the extreme satisfaction of our organizers. It is doing very well. Gold business, as we said, that the African market has the largest sourcing market for the UAE, and even though the market is doing very well, there are a lot of issues involved in this one. Here we would like to discuss the issues they have and what is holding them back from reaching the maximum level of gold trade between these the markets. Now let me ask Your Excellency, how is the market faring during the pandemic? How important is the UAE Gulf gold market for you? This one? Yes, please.
Good morning. Thanks for this invitation. This is the second time I participate in this event. As you know, Peru is an important, is the sixth largest producer in the world of gold, and we have the seventh most important reserves of gold in the world. We are expecting during this year an important recovery after a difficult year in 2020. We have important expectations, and we began since middle of this year, and we have seen an important recovery in the amount of our exports. We see with with a high optimism, the actual opportunity to give a new impulse to these economic activities. And in the case of the UAE, we are also very optimistic, not only about gold, but generally speaking about mining activities.
Sir, I think do you have a presentation, as you said, do you have?
Yes, I would like to give some few words.
You have the slides, okay.
Maybe 5 to 10 minutes.
Please.
Just to mention, in the mining and gold is not a new activity in Peru. This is a very traditional activity. Peru is a South American land best known for many times ago, like El Dorado, that means the golden land. Since the time of the Inca Empire, ancestor people is very familiar with the mining activity and exploitation of gold. We have a very high geological potential, because of the presence of the high mountains, the Andes Mountains, throughout our territory. This is the main source of mineral resources. And also the availability of quality cadastral in our land, geological information, offer world-class suppliers and legal framework, promoting private investments. All these explain the presence of the world's largest miners corporation in Peru, like BHP, Billiton, Rio Tinto, Glencore, Barrick Gold, Freeport, McMoran, Southern Peru Copper Corporation, Mitsubishi Corporation, Sumitomo Metal Mining, Votorantim Metais, Shogun, Newmont, and many other companies. This makes it one of the most attractive and profitable destinations for mining investment in the world. About the amounts of gold export to UAE, 2 years ago, it was almost $1 billion. We export also to many other countries like USA, China, Switzerland, Japan, Canada, and the European Union. These are our main markets. But not only this, also it is very important to take in account the economic strength and reliable investment climate in Peru. It is one of the fastest growing economies in Latin America. We are this year in a very important recovery pace, and we have also macroeconomic soundness, low inflation rates, fiscal and trade surpluses, strong international reserve, also a country with the rule of law, democratic open economy, and stable and favorable legal framework for foreign investors. Foreign investors in Peru are treated like national investors. And also we have a very good rate in country risk. Peru is international renowned economy. Our trade policy is liberal. More than 92% of Peru trade is covered by free trade agreements signed with USA, Canada, China, Singapore, Korea, Mexico, Japan, Thailand, and the European Union. We are also a member of the World Trade Organization, Andean Community, and Asia Pacific Economic Cooperation, APEC. I don't want to bother you with numbers. I just want to mention, if you want to invest in Peru, you will have an effective investor protection. We have 32 international investment agreements with many countries. Peru is also a member of MIGA and also signatory to the ICSID, International Center for the Settlement of Investment Disputes.
Yeah, sir, we will come to those points now when we discuss. Now let's hear from others also. We will come to the specifics later.
Okay.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Okay. So, Your Excellency, what about your country? How was the pandemic treated the industry? Example, because the mines were affected, because you cannot deploy your workers there, the yield was coming down. How did the industry fare last year?
Good morning, everybody. As far as Mali is concerned, I mean, we are the third producer of gold in Africa. And we encourage the private sector because our government doesn't exploit, directly gold. What we do is to provide license to private industries, private society. They just pay license, and they have land and they exploit, gold. And societies will pay taxes for government. And what is exploited is government earn 20% of this, exploitation. And we manage the post-COVID, situation. And there's a 50% of gold coming to UAE comes from Mali. So, and also we have some people who are not, in industrial sector. What artisanal, exploitants, craftsmen, they use, in a traditional way to exploit, gold. There are so many countries in Mali now, everywhere, to exploit, gold in a traditional way. As far as post-COVID management is concerned, we are not too, confronted to COVID problem in Mali because of our climate. I dare say Mali encourages investors, private sectors, to come and buy license to exploit, gold, and even they want to trade it inside or outside the country. Thank you.
You said, what about your country? Then you say that...
My country?
No, gentleman is just telling that.
Good morning, everyone. First of all, we thank for the invitation addressed to us to participate in this magnificent event. Furthermore, we would like to mention that the Angola government has been working to improve business environment. Regarding the exploration of gold, since 2019, it began to gain strong in process of diversify the economy. Angola country tried to grow up in this area because the gold extraction is one priority of our country and our government. And we have good opportunities for this investment.
Thank you. In the case of Peru, as you already mentioned that, you are attracting more investors to your country, especially, which sectors are you to attracting? I mean, what are the opportunities you are offering to investors from outside to Peru?
Talking about mining.
Yes.
Only
mining, or what about refining, etc.?
Yes, we have also some companies who are refining, not in the specific case of gold, but especially copper and other metals mining. As far as I know, refining activities of gold are made in other countries, facing the export through UAE to neighboring countries.
Are foreigners allowed to own mines there?
If you want to invest in exploration or exploitation, you can receive a license, a permission of the government, if you have necessary studies of environmental impact. If you have this license, you can operate. And of course, we have regulation, very clear regulations. and you also can sign agreements to guarantee the exploitation on the same rules and on the same conditions for nationals.
Are they allowed 100% or do you have the need for a local partner for this?
It's not necessarily a local partner. You can own 100% of the license and the exploitation.
Okay. What about the profits, or can they repatriate the profits outside the country, or do you have to, a specific minimum should be invested there?
We also guarantee 100% of repatriation of the gains in the case about your investments. So we have totally free movement of capital in the country.
Okay, you said that, no, what about your relations with the UAE markets, particularly because UAE may be your largest market for gold exports, is it?
UAE is a very important market. Generally talking, is one of the top 10 commercial partners of Peru. And the main export clearly for the last 10 years is gold, no? Mainly bulky gold.
Okay, but do you have value addition, or because are they directly exporting gold, or is it in the form of jewelry?
We export mainly bulky gold.
Bulky gold.
No derivative products of gold.
Okay.
Most of them are refined in Spain or here in UAE.
Okay. In the case of Mali, sir, the thing is that you said that now you account for 50% of the market to the UAE markets particularly. But are they bulk gold, or do you have value addition also?
Sorry?
UAE accounts for the 50% of your business, you said already.
Yes.
Okay. Are they in the form of bulk gold, bulk bars, or what about value addition?
I mean, it's formal, I mean, information. But what I can say is that for gold, I mean, transportation to UAE, our government lost, I mean, so much because of illegal, I mean, ways of bringing, I mean, gold. However, we have, I mean, good regulations as far as to refine gold, to transport and to, I mean, trade, I mean, outside our country.
Okay, thank you. In the case of, what about in the case of Angola?
Yes. In Angola, in nowadays, still discover new place which can extraction gold, and however, this work or this situation is combined with rule eco-friendly. In this sector, about the extraction of gold is going up, and then we still open to new investment, and the government to change the rules about the investment and the mineral resource.
What incentives do you offer to investors from outside?
Is in terms of the visa, facility to have fiscal incentives, and protector for to turn back the
Which means you
goods.
offer investment
Yes.
protection.
Pardon?
What are the investment protections do you offer? For example, a foreigner coming and investing in your country, Angola, that is mainly in, and which sectors? Is it mines or even other trading also you are allowed? Foreign investors? Even the mining sector?
Yes. We are open for this business. even the north and south of Angola, there is too many gold, and still to discover other place, other areas, and other place to grow this thing.
Okay. So the UAE is your largest market for gold exports? Angola's?
Yes, still started since 2019. 2019, the government has been working to achieve and to improve this situation. And for now, even in the UK, we have trading about the gold.
Okay. In the case of Peru, as you said, what impediments do you see in increasing the trade then? What are the issues involved in that one? Because you want to increase your trade to this country, especially to outsiders, and but do you find a payment as a system, or even you have compliance issues are there, transparency? Do you face such issues?
Well, I think we have a very transparent economy. The rules are very clear. There is no issue. We have a promise of investment in the mining sector of maybe around $60 billion for this year. We offer very clear conditions for the investors, and I think we have necessary warranties to obtain the expected gains, no? Because of the legal framework, our laws, our constitutions, the experience in our market of big companies, the possibility to engage very important suppliers, and also the necessary human resources. Also, the conditions of gold mining in Peru are very convenient, no? Because you can find the natural resources on the surface. The issue in our case is to get the necessary environmental studies, because it is important to preserve the use of water and also to respect the local communities in the high mountains. I would say the social license is the most important issue, and also remediations measures, no? About the use of natural waters.
Yeah, okay. But in the case of Mali, as you say that there is already a report saying that there are some parallel imports are there, and which is not outside the system. So what regulatory measures have you adopted in your country to bring it to the mainstream of the trade?
Okay, thank you. I mean, our government doesn't sell directly gold. It's beyond to private sector. So what the government does is just to deliver a license and to earn 50% of exploitation. And the investors are allowed either to make research of gold, or to export gold, or to buy a license, getting land in order for exploration. And there are so many facilities for that. Government encourage investors to do what they want regarding research, exporting, or even exploration directly. And nowadays there are at least more than 10 societies abroad, investors coming from abroad to exploit gold in Mali.
Okay.
And the regulations, are very, very interesting.
Okay, so you are likely to come out with more stringent regulations now?
Sorry?
More stringent regulations are there now?
Yeah, yeah.
It's in the coming now. Okay. And in Angola's case also, I think, no, because no, you also have a very transparent system, but at the same time, there are reports like that, no, there's lots of parallel exports are taking place with outside the mainstream. So what are the measures, regulatory measures you are planning there in your country now?
Yes, Angola has invested $48.6 million in gold exploration. And the national regulation of the mining sector. In general, since 2019, government is open for investment in different areas, particularly in the gold exploration. And this case is following to great regulation about the extraction of the gold. I think for different companies, for different investors, we are open. And for more information, for more details, we are open to share this information about the rule and the other things.
Well, on the other side of it, the markets, in the case of Peru, what do we expect from governments like the UAE and other importers? What measures do you suggest to increase the trade?
I think it is very important to get a direct contact between importers and exporters. We take the chance that Peru is now taking part in Expo Dubai 2020. We have a very big pavilion. You are very welcome, invited to visit our pavilion. And in this framework, we will organize in January, February, March, business meetings at our Peruvian pavilion. We hope to discuss face-to-face the conditions of investments and to do business in Peru. This will be a very good opportunity, and we also want to push our Peruvian companies to come to Dubai and to get directly contact with the local community of businessmen in Dubai. On 21 January, we will have National Day at Expo Dubai 2020, and we expect the visit of at the highest level visit of Peruvian authorities. We hope to create new business opportunities in this frame of Expo Dubai.
In the case of Mali again, is what happened now? This market is very important, as you already said that now. But what kind of investors are you going to attract from this market?
As far as investors are concerned, we like to have investors who can directly extract
In the extraction, okay.
gold or buy we grow gold and refine it before exporting, because we have a refinery in Mali. Government set up every condition to facilitate gold exportation or gold exploration. It's up to the investor to make his choice about what kind of investment he want to do in Mali.
Okay. Now that with the emergence of new technology, new payment systems, new gateways, etc., what percentage of your business is actually done through the payment system now?
Well, we use the traditional ways, Incoterms. I think there is no issue about the payments, no restrictions. As investor, you have total freedom to send your gains, your money, and also the profit is very high in the gold subsector. No, activities mining are very profitable in Peru because of the low cost of productions. In our case, no, we offer the necessary information about the places you can begin new mining operations. And I would say banking system is very stable in Peru. We don't have any problems in this issue.
But in the case of Angola, do you find the scarcity or even the shortage of legal systems like that, you know, for payments as well as for the transparency and easy transaction facilities?
Yes, there is about the payment is the right way, is like to respect the rules. But I would like to say the insurance, the receipt and the monitoring of private investment proposal to be implemented in Angola. Create favorable conditional to private investment. Supervise and control the execution of approved private investment projects. Implement politics and programs to replace import with increase export. Make institution announcements with other minister, boards, banks, and the others. Is for normal, is the rule is to respect the rules about the payment and the investment.
Okay. Even in the case of Mali also, you know, you may find the shortage of such system where e-market platforms are there now. Now the new e-market platforms are emerging. Are you increasingly using those channels?
Yes, little by little. As I told, the government is not involved, in commercing, in selling gold. It's between, private investors and, private sector in Mali. There are some people who, buys gold and sell it to, investor. But e-commerce not too much developed because of legal issue. But now it's been started. It's been started, but little by little, it's going on.
So looking at the future of the markets, you know, because as you say that, you know, because it's already a transparent system, you have very interesting market operators are there. So what do you see the future of trade between Peru and the UAE?
We see in the near future a new impulse in the economic relations. We have already many business. Not
You
only
already have a joint business council?
No.
Okay.
No.
Yeah.
We have important investments from UAE in Peru, especially DP World, who has invested in the main port of Peru, which is Callao, near the capital, and also a northern port, Paita. They operate two very important ports. And we have seen also important investments in energy sectors. In mining, I have seen very important interest from some local investors in UAE. And I think it's possible, no? I mean, mining activity in Peru is especially activity in which are involved very big corporations. Still, we have potential because we have very important reserves, and we offer, I think, very good conditions to new investments, respecting always environmental studies, environmental standards, as well as respect of local population. No? These two issues are very important. Otherwise, I am very optimistic in the possibility to get new investors.
Okay. Sir, in the case of Mali, as you said, what are the challenges you actually foresee and what measures do you suggest to face those challenges?
To face the challenge is to to master the exploitation, of gold in transparency. As I said, a lot of buyers, a lot of businessmen from regarding gold, buy gold from Malians, try to avoid legal way, and bring out by neighbors countries to reach UAE. So the government lost so much money for that. So
Yeah, of course, the government is losing too much, so much on your tax, etc. If it is the outside the mainstream.
Yeah.
So, what regulatory measures are you suggesting there in your country? Are there any move to do that kind?
Yes.
For bringing out more
very-
transparency.
Very often, our authorities, if someone is, taken from doing this legal situation, he has been punished, and most of the time he lost the gold. In 2019, government, Mali government has exported about 66 tons of gold abroad. And I said that in Mali we have so much gold.
But in the first instance itself, why are they resorting to this kind of activities? Is it to avoid taxation or even to illegal funding or kind of thing?
So we have to to prevent illegal trade, because it's a lack of money for the government. So it's try to prevent and to punish those persons who will be behaving in that way. Most of the time, investors are here. They tell some brokers to do their best in order to get gold from Mali. Anyway, I don't know the way they don't care. What they care just to bring gold in UAE, and they buy it. Those persons who do this job may have some problem with government, and the government is now to control boundaries and set up regulation in order to prevent these situations.
Okay. Angola also must be, as you said, no, it's a little more advanced kind of economy you have that, no? You are also, what about the AMLs, like anti-money laundering laws, especially, and the transparency in payments, etc.?
Yes, for the e-market is our focus for next years. We have this focus to implement e-marketing. The promotion of private investments in our country is essential to break cycle of economic. To accelerate the recovery and the growth of products and services from the priority different extraction sectors in Angola. We must to see the rule of the payment of the trading is important to show for everyone the transparency about this business.
Thank you. Your Excellencies, it was a very informative insights you have given us. And in one word, now what do you say that now what should be done now? Where you see the trade between these two countries in the next 5 years?
I think it is very important to know partners, commercial partners, investors, each other through directly contact. We need to know each other better because of in the case of Peru, because of the very long distance, geographically talking. It's very important to visit your partner, to visit the fields, and to get the necessary trust about where will you put your money, and to sit on not only about statistic or legal information, but also on the field. I think we are, now we have the possibility to travel in an easier way comparing with the last year. Peru is now open to businessmen, to tourists, so you are invited. If you have interest, you are invited to visit Peru. I can bring more information. The consulate of Peru has always the doors open to get closer information. And I think we will begin a new period of new business between both countries.
Yeah, thank you. The UAE is now has already reached a position of the largest gold hub in the world. And now we are moving towards, it's going to be the e-market also like that, the same thing. So what do you see, what government level relation should be there to increase this one now? To reach, yes.
Right. What I can advise is to do e-commerce, everything regarding gold, and transparency. To avoid what I call fraudulent ways of buying of commercing gold. Because our government doesn't learn much money because of that's illegal ways of commerce. And we have gold. Mali is very rich. You know, the richest man of the world till now, Kaku Musa or Masa Musa, was from Mali. And during his pilgrimage to Mecca, thanks to his richness, he cut down the cost of gold in the world.
Okay. As Angola has already done.
Our gold is supposed to be one of the most best quality. So I advise investors to come directly to government or to negotiate in transparency and avoid illegal ways. Thank you.
So this kinds of e-market economy will be beneficial to that one, as you say that.
Sure.
Okay,
Sure.
Thank you. Thank you. So you are also going to do the same thing.
Yes, I think the best way is to see and respect the law. I would like to say that we are open to new investment and feel free to do so. We are open. For more details, in Angola Consulate, Angola Embassy, bring more details about the gold exploration, gold business. You are welcome.
Thank you. Friends, as they said that your excellencies have already indicated that each country is attracting maximum number of investors to their country. So you can interact with them to get to know more about the industry, their market, and what are the scopes available to foreign investors. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.